Welcome back to the Deep Dive, listeners. Today we're headed into Olympic National Park. We're going deep into the story of Jack Collins, an experienced hunter. He claims a face-to-face encounter with Bigfoot. And this isn't just another monster in the woods story. There's more to it. We've got a mysterious metal disc. We might even have a government cover-up. And that lingering sense that something is, well, watching, waiting.
Yeah, it really is interesting how Jack's story kind of taps into that primal fear, the unknown, right? Especially a place like Olympic National Park, dense forests, rugged. It's easy to think something's lurking out there. And the park itself, well, it's got this history, a rich history of Native American legends. Legends about Sasquatch, creature embodying the wilderness.
So picture this. Jack, you're tracking deer through the forest. You find these huge humanoid footprints. At first, you'd think it was something else, right? A bear,
Yeah.
maybe a prank, anything but, well, that.
But what's interesting is what Jack says about the forest going silent. No birds, no wind, no rustling leaves, just this like eerie quiet. It's not just seeing a footprint. It's like the whole environment changes. Something feels wrong.
And that feeling, well, it just gets stronger. Jack reaches a clearing, and there it is. Massive, hairy, 7 feet tall. But what really gets me is the eyes. Jack says they weren't monstrous. They were intelligent, almost human. Amber eyes, like it was studying him, understanding him.
You know, those eyes, they come up a lot in Bigfoot stories. Witnesses always talk about this feeling of being watched, almost studied, like there's some kind of, well, consciousness. Not like an animal. It makes you wonder, could Bigfoot be intelligent? More aware than we realize.
The creature, it doesn't attack. It just stares at Jack. Then it melts back into the forest. And it's then that Jack sees something strange, right where the creature was standing. It was a small metal disc, engravings on it, shimmering in the light.
That disc, it adds a whole new layer to the story. It's not just seeing Bigfoot. It makes you think, is it a tool? Some way to communicate? And when Jack touched it, it vibrated. That's not just any old object, you know.
And this is where things change, big time. As Jack is looking at the disc, black helicopters appear. Armed men rappel down. They grab Jack before he can even move.
That shift, it's jarring, right? 1 minute it's quiet in the woods. The next, well, you're facing some unknown force. Makes you think about government secrets, what they might be hiding. The unknown, again.
They blindfold Jack. They throw him in a van, take him somewhere, who knows where. And it's not about hunting or trespassing. They want to know what he saw, especially about that disc.
It's like something out of a movie. An interrogation. Reinforces the idea that this is bigger than just seeing a creature. The government's interest, well, it tells us they know something. They're trying to control what people know.
Jack tells them everything. The footprints, the creature, the disc. But what they say next? It's chilling. They deny everything, threaten him, tell him to keep quiet. And of course, they take the disc. They want Jack to forget it ever happened.
The denial, the threats. It's something you hear a lot with these stories. Makes you wonder who these agents really are, what they want, and why they're trying so hard to bury these stories, you know?
24 hours later, they dump Jack back at the park. No injuries. But shaken up, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And definitely not free.
That feeling, being watched, silenced, it's a powerful way to control someone. Makes you question yourself, your sanity, keeps you quiet. And you know what's really unsettling? This kind of echoes a pattern. These disappearances, strange things happening in and around the parks, specifically what they call the missing 411 cases. People vanish, no trace. Often in these, well, wilderness areas, places with a history of weird stuff.
Oh yeah, I've heard about those cases. It's like they just stepped off the map. Nothing. No signs, no clues.
Oh, creepy. And a lot of these cases, they happen in places with, you guessed it, Bigfoot sightings. Makes you wonder, could there be a link? Are these disappearances more than just lost hikers? Or accidents?
Chilling thought. But if there's a connection, why all the secrecy? What does the government have to gain by hiding the truth about Bigfoot? Or, maybe even if it tests involved in these disappearances.
Theories are all over the place, right?
Yeah.
Mass panic, scientific value. Imagine discovering a missing link. A species, intelligent, capable, we don't even know what it can do.
That's science fiction stuff. But what about the more out there theories? Bigfoot being alien, interdimensional. Any truth to those?
Well, those theories that might seem crazy, but they show us how little we understand about consciousness, about the universe. Who knows, really? Especially with things that, well, we can't explain.
So Jack's threatened, he's being watched. But he can't just drop it. He's got to find out the truth, even if it's dangerous. What does he do next?
He starts digging into local stories, history. Finds out the Sasquatch legend, it's been around for a long time, part of the Native American cultures in the Pacific Northwest. These stories, they talk about a powerful being connected to the wilderness, something to fear, something to respect.
So it's not just a modern myth, it's something that's been around for generations.
Exactly. And as Jack looks deeper, he sees patterns. Places with lots of sightings, certain times of year when activity picks up. He even finds descriptions of sounds, things that no one can identify.
He's putting the pieces together. There's a real phenomenon here, not just random events or people seeing things.
And his research? Well, it leads him to other people with similar stories. Scientists, researchers, even some ex-government folks, people who say they've seen things, investigated things.
He's finding a community. People who've had the same experiences, face the same disbelief, the threats. It's like validation. He's not alone.
Through these connections, he gets his hands on all sorts of stuff. Pictures, videos, even recordings, things that back up his story. He starts to believe that someone is trying to hide this. Keep it all secret.
But why? What's the point? What are they so afraid of?
That's the question that drives Jack. He needs to tell the world, even if it's dangerous. He knows the risks, but he feels like it's his duty to warn people, you know? We're not alone.
Classic David and Goliath. One man against the system, fighting to expose the truth. But what's the cost? What does he have to sacrifice to find out what's really going on?
As he gets deeper, things get more dangerous. Weird things start happening, like he's being followed, watched. Static on his phone, strange cars outside his house. That feeling that, well, someone's always watching.
Like a spy movie. The paranoia makes you crazy.
And the pressure builds. Jack has to decide. Keep quiet, protect himself, his family, or keep fighting, even if it costs him everything.
That's a tough choice. To know something that powerful people want to keep hidden takes a lot of guts to face that and not back down.
When we come back, we'll see what Jack decides to do and what happens because of it. His journey takes us into a world of secrets and conspiracies, where what's real and what's not, well, it's not so clear. And finding the truth, it comes with a price.
So last we heard, Jack was at a crossroads. Conspiracy, threats, strange things happening. Would he stay quiet or risk it all to tell the truth?
It's a tough spot, right? A lot of people who've seen these things, they face this. Do you talk and risk being laughed at, threatened, worse? Or do you shut up and let the mystery stay a mystery?
Remember, Jack's not some, gullible guy. He's a hunter, used to the woods, trusts his own eyes, his own logic. But what he's found, the evidence, the patterns, the threats, he can't ignore it.
And there's this, well, growing distrust of authority, right? In this day and age, information overload. It makes sense that people are looking for answers, questioning things, looking for something real.
So Jack makes up his mind. He's going public. He's going to share his story, his evidence, everything. Even though he knows it could be dangerous, he might be ridiculed, threatened, maybe no one will believe him.
And here's the thing. His story, it doesn't just disappear online. It takes off. People are hooked. The details, the evidence, his bravery, he's taking on powerful people.
It's like it goes viral. Media frenzy, huge debates, news, experts, skeptics, everyone's talking about it.
Yeah.
The government, well, they deny everything. They say he's a fake, a conspiracy nut.
But the more they try to shut it down, the more people pay attention. It's like the more you push, the more people resist.
It's like that Streisand effect. You try to hide something, it just gets bigger. And as things heat up, more people come forward. People with similar stories, strange experiences. Some even say they know about government cover-ups.
It's like strength in numbers, When you have multiple people, especially people you trust, saying the same thing, it's hard to ignore.
The pressure's on. The government has to do something. They announce an investigation, but a lot of people think it's just for show, right? Control the story, calm people down, but don't actually tell the truth.
Yeah, that's classic, right? Look like you're doing something while you're really just managing the situation.
But Jack and the others, they don't back down. They want the truth. A real investigation, the whole story. Olympic National Park, Bigfoot, everything.
It shows you how important it is to keep asking questions. Challenge the official story. Demand answers from people in power.
Jack's story, yeah, it's about Bigfoot. But it also makes you think, what else are they hiding? What other mysteries are out there, just out of reach?
It's a good question. Makes you look at your own beliefs. Question what you think you know. What if there's more to the world than we see?
Jack's search for answers. It reminds us that finding the truth can be dangerous. You might have to face powerful people, challenge what everyone believes, even face your own fears. But you might also learn more about yourself, about the world, about all the mysteries out there.
And these days, with so much information, misinformation, We need to think critically, question what we're told, look for different perspectives.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, we'll leave you with this. What do you believe? And what are you willing to question? If you like exploring this with us, subscribe to The Deep Dive. We'll keep diving into the unknown.